Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and I'm an artist from BC, Canada. Today I'll be doing an art supply review. So for this art supply review, I'll be reviewing a watercolor paper called Stonehenge Aqua Hot Press. For watercolor paper in general, I'm looking for three main things, whether it's functional, is it accessible, and then also is it affordable. So when I'm talking about function, it really depends on yourself and your particular art style. For me, I do a lot of different types of wash, and then the first layer usually add quite a bit of water to get the translucent effect and do the background. So I'm looking for paper that's very absorbent. At the same time, I like to add a lot of mixed media, including oil pencils, and then add different types of inks as well. So I need paper that's smooth. So that eliminates a lot of cold press paper, and I concentrate a lot on hot press paper. So that's functionality. The second part I'm looking for is accessibility, so something that's easy for me to pick up and just go, so I'm not stuck at one permanent art station. I also want to find something that's easy for me to just kind of get started once I have inspiration or have free time, rather than like, oh, I need to put the paper down, I need to tape down the paper to a board of some sort. So those are some things I'm looking for. And the third part is affordability, which is pretty self-explanatory. So which brings me to this Stonehedge Art Block that I picked up at my local art store. It wasn't the first thing that I was looking for, but it was something that I just happened to come across. So it fulfilled my requirement of something that is hot press, so something that's very smooth, so there's no graininess to it. I also like the idea that it's an art block, so then I don't have to tape down the paper and I can just get started and paint on it. There's binding on all four sides, and with the exception of a little ledge here that you can use a palette knife of some sort and you can cut it open when you're done. So I really like that because there are certain art blocks that only has binding on two sides, and as a result the paper would buckle and also warp, which you can't fix after the artwork's done. So that's some great things about it. One thing you would notice with art blocks that may not be as good is that for art blocks, if you use a lot of water, some of the water will absorb and warp the layer underneath. So that's one thing to consider. And also when you get rid of the binding, there's bound to be a little bit of grainy or plasticness on the sides. So if that bothers you, don't go for an art block and just get regular paper. I really don't enjoy taping down paper because I think it limits my portability of whether I can pick this up and go to another art station or go to a coffee shop to work on it. At the same time, I find that it's kind of unpredictable for the tape when you remove it, whether it's going to damage the artwork itself. And the other thing that I should mention, though, the disadvantage of art block is that if you were to color all the way to the edge, you might actually get paint on the side here, and that does carry over to the next piece. So that's something to consider if you're worried about that. But in general, I'm really enjoying this art block. I think it's really great for me to practice with, and I would probably recommend it to anyone who's looking for something that is in the affordability range. It's around $33 for this 9x12 inch art block. It has 15 sheets on it. It's 100% cotton and acid free. This one is 140 pounds. I also picked up one that is 7 inch by 7 inch, which I really like as well. I really like these pieces because I can bring it to a coffee shop after I'm finished the wash and just add detail it, and it's just so portable. So overall, it does check off all of the things, including whether it is functional. Yes, does absorb a fair bit of water. I do notice there's one sheet that I tried doing wash with where the binding actually came off on one side halfway through the artwork. I don't know if it was a bad batch or not, but that's happened, so I thought I'll bring that up. But it's very functional, absorbs water, and it is hot press and very smooth. Affordability wise, I think it does check off the box that you can get 15 sheets, good quality paper from Legion. And then I do think that it's very portable and accessible. So yeah, I would consider doing this, and I would buy it again and recommend to my friend. but I don't know if I would use this type of paper if I were to do larger pieces of watercolor paper. I might just get individual sheets myself. So that's it for this art supplies review. If you enjoyed it, please consider like, subscribe, or sharing with other artists. And if there's other art supplies you would like me to consider reviewing, please leave a comment below. Thank you so much for joining me for this art supply review. See you next time.